There you go.
Hello, Hen. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm great. It's great to see your face. I mean, last time Orphan Land were in the US was in 2018, something like that.
Long ago. Yeah, indeed.
It feels a long time. So hopefully you will give me some news later on that this will be, we will fix that.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, that's the real hope.
And speaking of years, 30 years of Orphan Land, although you have not been with the band from the beginning, however, how does it feel? How the band feels about that?
Being well, for me, it's like you said, it's over a decade, but the band itself, it's like it feels iconic in a way. Uh, Although there are still so much more to reach as a band after all this time, we're still not at the top of our level, but it's quite amazing to think how something lasted for that amount of time.
Absolutely. And I think you just called the other guys old, right?
Yeah, especially in Israel to have a metal band for such a long time, it's not
Oh,
something.
yeah, yeah. And I have no idea if, let's say, the last 2 decades have improved, have things have improved in Israel as far as the metal scene goes. Has
Very, yeah, actually far better and far easier. Especially not just because the situation improved in Israel, it's all thanks to internet actually.
Oh yeah, of course, of course. So that is something that Orphan Land should feel proud of.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it happened in a time where there wasn't anything. So
Right.
that's I guess why it lasted so long, because it came from nothing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so how was the idea to film / record the show in a chamber opera orchestra with the chamber opera orchestra and Hellscore?
Wow, that was by far one of the craziest adventures. I mean, recording an album is fun. It's a lot of work as well, but having so many musicians with you on board, it's a lot of opinions.
Oh, okay.
A lot of opinions and a lot of people talking, which is not always the easiest thing. You want to make everyone happy, and obviously, it's not very ordinary. If you'll see the single that is already out now, Safari, you see the orchestra are old people mostly. So when we brought them aboard, it was like, please don't hate us. We know it's loud, but enjoy it.
So did they listen first to the music to get accustomed to what is Orphan Land, or did they already know, some of them at least?
The younger ones did listen to ORPHANED before, but the old guys just received their notes and came to work.
Sure. Who did the arrangements for all of this? Because that's a huge project.
It was a guy called Alon Stern.
Mm-hmm.
I did that with him. He was pretty much in charge of the arrangement of all the orchestration. And he passed on to like nine people who took each one a different song.
Oof.
And I needed to supervise that.
Oh man.
Yeah, a lot of notes.
And did the band choose the songs accordingly? I mean, were there some of the songs that the band would like to play, to perform, but the arrangements were not so easy, let's say?
We chose songs that we thought that would fit most in orchestra. I mean, there are so many songs as well, and you always like to give an emphasis to the latest album, but when you have something of an event like that of 30 years, it's a celebration of all time. So you try to grab a bit from each album and give some respects.
And what about the venue? I'm gonna butcher the name, but I will try. Heichal Tarbut?
Not bad, not bad at all.
Yes.
Heichal Tarbut.
Thank you. How was it easy to book that venue, especially after the pandemic and all this all this craziness?
Not at all. It was none of it was certain in any kind of way because it was meant to be canceled. Like we at the pandemic, we canceled like 5-6 times because there were restrictions. And this venue, which is like the main venue of Israel, that if you're a respected artist, that's the place. So they approved of a certain amount of people, and it was like, oh shit. Eventually, they held off the restrictions, and we were able to bring 2,500 people in the venue, and it was amazing.
I just saw photos and of course the single that you released. Oh man, I was so jealous. It was, I mean, the acoustics should have been great there.
Yeah, it's a really big hall. So it was very interesting to play in a place like that. And also it's a first time that we're playing a metal concert that everyone has chairs.
Well,
So
here in the States, some venues do have chairs. But
yeah, it's kind of weird, but it was interesting in a way.
what about your performance? Did you feel a little bit strange with all these people at the back?
I felt like Metallica during the S&M. That's what I felt at this point. I felt at my top moment.
That's great. What about the filming? How many cameras did you use? I mean, this is a big play, so what should we expect on the DVD/Blu-ray?
The DVD is a remarkable coincidence of something that happened that wasn't planned.
Okay.
What basically happened is that we did not even plan to have it as a DVD. We planned to record it, but not in video. So we had a live stream going on, and most of it was kind of lagging.
Oh, shit.
So we took footage from people in the audience, from random photographers and videographers that was there, and the cameras. We had about 6 cameras of our own for the live stream. And we took all of that and tried to make the best of it so something would be documented. So it's not 4K, but it is documented.
Okay, I get it. And you were involved in the video editing, correct?
Yeah, I edited the whole thing.
Oh, was it too challenging? Was it fun? How was it?
It was challenging because it was not planned. Because
as you said,
when you plan something like that, you have all the particular angles and you have guidelines to who needs to be shot when and where. And as a video editor from my place, that you want to give everyone their space and not struggle later with who's not in the footage. And it's like sometimes I don't have that footage anyway, so sorry.
Oh,
so it was a long one. It's an hour and a half of editing.
What about the sound? Were you happy with how the sound was recorded?
Wow, at least that part was good. That was easy. We had Idan, our guitar player, he mixed it in his studio. He received the files and mixed it. And when I heard it, I was like, sounds better than the album. So I'm glad.
Did you have any sync problems with the footage that you got for the video and the audio?
No, since it was, it mostly was drag and dropped. I just
okay. I think
most of my work was just deciding what's the right footage for the moment and trying to make it work.
What about guests aside from Hellscore? Is anyone else appearing there?
There is Noah Gruman. She is the female singer. She's with us for quite a few years. And she takes the place of Shlomit, the singer in the album. And she always does a remarkable job. She's not Yemenite in any way. She's all white, you can see. And she performs like a true Yemenite. You could say that she tried to grab a whole different culture from her kind of singing and embraces it. And it's amazing to see. And of course, we have Sharon Mansour. She is the keyboard player that was with us for the time. She also brings her weird sounds into it. So it was a full event full of surprises.
Like I said, I was jealous. That's all about to say. I will say. Why or what was? Why did you choose "A Heaven You May Create" as a title?
First of all, if you can tell, most of the Orphaned Land music is like a repeat of something. The Storm Still Rages Inside appear pretty much in every album, in any kind of way, if you look carefully. And we like that kind of things of a repetitive motive throughout the albums as a progressive band. So that element, it was a documentary and the guy made for us, and we always like so a heaven you may create. That's what we thought that was right for us, that Orphaned Land is a 30-year-old band, and we came through the unbelievable, and we're a band from Israel that's the biggest band from Israel as well, and we're still here, and we're still getting bigger after all this time. So that's our heaven.
Yeah, and I guess this is for me, it's also a message for everyone, right? You're I hope, I want to say, not I hope, I want to say in almost every instance that we create our own reality. We have some control of that. So we can be the person who hates everyone, but we can choose not to be, right?
Exactly.
And this is something that sometimes Orphaned Land had to face for whatever reason.
Yeah, we always choose to create a better reality in any kind of way. That's the main message we have.
Absolutely. What about the cover? Did the band give any input to the artist? What did you want to show there, depict?
This was actually the toughest one, because at first I tried to fiddle a little bit and try some ideas. I thought I took ideas from S&M, from Metallica. I wanted something simple, maybe just to have the faces of the guys, or maybe like holding hands or whatever. I had so many ideas. But then again, we tried a few artists, and we came back to Vanual, Metastasis. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name correct, but
I cannot speak to that, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's the guy who did All Is One and Unsung Prophets. So
Correct.
we already had a good input of what we can say to him about basically who Orphaned Land is for the last 30 years, and bring that into a design. And he did it. Metal, skulls, synagogue, church, all the stuff at once. That's us.
It's again bringing religions together, but not to melt the religions in the same pot, but bring people on the same pot. That's we need to make that distinction.
Exactly. Always combine.
Correct. Do you have any bonus material on the DVD at least?
Yeah, the DVD itself features more songs because there's so much you can put on that CD. So there were like just songs that was left out, and we kept them as a bonus for whoever wants that.
What about the vinyl edition?
The vinyl edition features, I think, a few liner notes from Kobe, and it's very pretty in general. It's very pretty.
Are you planning to print any, colored versions? Because right now I see the black one.
Yeah. Right now, we don't have any plans for colored versions, but that's something that usually comes as, in general, vinyl. The vinyl thing is coming back, so we always have a few colors for each vinyl.
So basically, I'm asking you: should I wait, or should I order my copy now?
I cannot promise anything at this point, but it usually happens.
Okay.
Never had just one color.
Right. And do you know? I know that if we order the album, the vinyl through, or the DVD and the CD with the CD, I know that we will get signed, right, from the band.
Yes.
However, do you know if there will be a distribution in the US for both the CD?
Yeah, either ways, we are signed with Century Media, and they're in charge of distributing the stuff personally. We get always, as a band, we want our own batch, personal batch that we sign ourselves and we send ourselves. That's like as humble as we can get. So if you purchase it from stores, it gets to the label, and if you purchase from the band website, it's straight from us.
Good to know.
Yeah.
I will choose the latter, to be honest. Okay, what about live plans? You have announced the Motoculture
Yes.
Festival, right? Oof.
Yeah.
Any other plans that you may have?
At this point, we signed with the Lucky Bob agency. They're our new booking agency. And I'm curious what's gonna happen. They're working their ass off. As far as I see, we have the upcoming tour, which is a 2-part tour that will be in January, and then the second part in March. We have festivals in plans, and hopefully the US as well.
Yes, yes. I was dying to hear if you would.
Yeah, that's the answer you're hoping for.
And what about the set? At least let's talk about the European tour. And since it's the 30th anniversary of the band, are you planning a special set list for this?
Yeah, we're planning something different, since it's this tour will basically promote the live album, which features songs that we don't normally play live. I'm not sure if we already uncovered the track list, but I'll wait with that. So there were a lot of songs that we don't usually perform, and specially arranged for the orchestra. So we might take that along because it worked.
You will take an orchestra with you?
No, I meant that we will take the orchestral arrangement.
Okay. Because
maybe we do want to make that more than a one-time event. We think that it deserves another one, so we'll try to see how it happens sometime.
Yeah, because it has to be expensive, especially nowadays. Everything is super expensive. So bringing along, I don't know, 20 people along. Oof.
Yeah, we would love to figure that out, and as we did it already once, we were smarter for the second time.
What about the show that you have on December 13th in Tel Aviv, right?
Yes, that's the annual concert that we're doing every year. It's a celebration of Hanukkah, the Jewish holiday. And it's called the Celebration of Light. So we basically just conquered that holiday, and every time people know that ORPHANED has a concert in December in Israel, and it's the most perfect place for us to feel comfortable, because we're at home. We know most of the people at the concert. Usually it's 2 sold-out shows at once, and it feels like home basically all the time, and it's a special experience because it's not like the ordinary show you get. Because imagine that you're a parent and you grew up listening to ORPHANED, and now you have your kids, and they take them with them to the concerts, and the ending of the concert, we bring the kids on stage.
Oh, damn, awesome.
Yeah, so you always have like a bunch of kids on stage with ORPHANED shirts, so that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and now, again, going back to the years that this band has been around, it makes sense, because now we are talking about generations. We are not talking about young and old fans. We are talking about generations.
Exactly.
Great. Is it the right time to ask about the next ORPHANED LAND studio album?
It's never the wrong time. But yeah, I could say there's not much to talk about it, but there is always material being written. The thing about ORPHANED, what took us so long is, like I mentioned in the beginning of the conversation, as a band from Israel especially, there are a lot of troubles and conflicts, regardless of what's happening in the Middle East. As ourselves, coming back from the pandemic, and you know, Kobe became a parent for 2 kids, for example, and some of us got married and regular stuff. No one knew if the band would ever come back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we never knew if the restrictions would come off one day, so each of us had to make money somehow, regardless of the band. So we went to different directions and try to make money.
Mm-hmm.
And what's happening now is that we're like regrouping somehow to make the band as it used to, in a way.
Yeah.
But musically, you could say that we never lack any ideas. So once we're done with the album celebrations, we're already starting to put together some material for the next one.
Great to hear. Last question. Is
Yes.
Chen Balbus project still active? Is it something that you have in your mind? Something that you would like to revisit?
Not anytime in the near future. I did it as an escape, you could say, because I was full of Orphaned Land tours, and when I do something for too long, I get a little bit bored, and I needed something to take my mind off it. And it was a good time. I did that for a while. I lived in Los Angeles as well,
Mm-hmm.
and I came back here happy. I'm happy to be home, and I missed Orphaned Land, and now that's the time for Orphaned Land again.
Absolutely. Anything else that you would like to share before closing this discussion?
Heaven you may create. Bye now.
Thank you very much, Chen. Send my regards to the rest of the band, and
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate your time.
absolutely, each and every time. Thank you very much.
Cheers, man.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.